Janelle Brown's phone vibrated on her nightstand at the same moment the first light of the Arizona dawn peeked into her room. Groggy and squinting in the sudden light, she picked it up. The screen lit up with one word, a name she hadn't seen in weeks. Cody. Her stomach flipped into an all-too-familiar knot. She debated ignoring it, but curiosity and a nagging feeling compelled her to pick it up. With a defeated sigh, she swiped to accept. Cody's voice crackled over the phone, raw and brittle, as if each word was being pulled behind it like a wagon. "Janelle," he rasped. It sounded like a man who'd finally used up all his alibis and shed all shred of pride. "I need to see you. In person." Janelle slowly pushed herself up. She muttered, "You always need something." Then louder, "Fine. Come over. But hurry." She didn't wait for an answer before she hung up. 30 minutes later, a beat-up SUV drove into her driveway. Janelle sat at the window. Sure, the car still in the family LLC was seconds away from being repossessed. The engine coughed as if it were dying. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Sister Wives Daily. If you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to smash that like button. Cody emerged first. His unkempt beard and messy hair suggested he hadn't slept or had been crying, maybe both. His clothes hung off him awkwardly. Pants 2 sizes too big and a wrinkled button-up shirt instead of his usual showy leather jacket. Robyn rode in the passenger seat. Her face was pale, her expression blank. She didn't even get out to stand behind him. Cody stood frozen at the door, hand in mid-air, ready to knock. Janelle opened it before he got the chance. 5 minutes, she said curtly. Inside, Cody stumbled around her living room, moving like a restless ghost. Finally, he collapsed on the edge of the couch as though the weight of his secrets had crushed him. "We're broke," he said flatly. Janelle didn't flinch. "We're broke. All the credit cards are filled up. We're months behind on payments for the Flagstaff house. The lease on the warehouse is shot. Despite Robyn's efforts to keep the jewelry business running online, the bank is taking everything." Janelle folded her arms, her gaze hard. "And what do you want from me?" "I need you," Cody begged. "You always took care of money so well. Perhaps you have something put away. Just enough to see us through the month. Please." Janelle glared at him in astonishment. "You're asking me to bail you and Robyn out?" Her voice went icy sharp, cutting the air. "After you cease to support me? After you used my $401K to assist in the purchase of Coyote Pass and then froze me out of every subsequent decision?" She shuddered with fury. "You gave Robyn everything and nothing to me." The door creaked at that moment. Janelle turned to witness Robyn entering uninvited. Her makeup was smudged, her complexion pale, and her hair hung limp. Holding her phone like a lifeline, Robyn spoke in a trembling voice. "Janelle, we're not here to fight. We're desperate. We need unity now more than ever." Janelle released a hard, biting laugh. "Unity? You want unity when you're drowning? Where was that unity when I couldn't even get a bed frame? When Garrison needed assistance and you all turned your backs?" Robyn winced. "Don't mention Garrison," she snapped. "Why not?" Janelle retorted. "Because it makes you confront what you've avoided for years?" Janelle's rage, long contained, now burst forth. Even Cody's efforts to intervene and quiet her were in vain, as she continued. "You saw me get discarded. You flourished as Cody descended into favoritism and craziness. And now you need my assistance? You're too late by years." Cody fell back onto the couch, covering his face in his hands. "I don't even know who I am anymore," he whispered. "I thought I could make everything okay. But I failed. I lost my family. I went out of control. We can't even afford propane this month. Aurora is taking loans. Solomon is not eating well. I don't want to look my kids in the eye." Silence descended upon the room like a thick blanket. Janelle crept quietly to the door and opened it. "You have to leave," she told him firmly. Cody stared up at her in shock. "What? You're not remaining here. You're not receiving any money. You're not welcome," she told him, pointing toward the driveway. "Out. Now. Too proud to weep, Robyn turned on her heel and departed without another word. Cody stood at the door a moment longer, his eyes filled with remorse. "You were always the strong one. Now I at last realize it," he whispered. Janelle stood silently, unyielding. "And I made it," Janelle said, her tone low but sharp, "because I quit waiting for you to notice." With that last punch, she closed the door in Cody's face. The silence that ensued wasn't quiet. It was a deafening quiet, ringing with all the truths long concealed but now irrefutable. Janelle slid down onto the floor, back against the door, releasing at last a breath she didn't even know she was holding. The camera cut to her on-camera confession. The TLC crew had returned, filming her like never before. Seated with her hands peacefully folded in her lap, Janelle's eyes were firm, unflinching. "I thought that Cody was going to be protecting us," she admitted. "I believed in the sacrifice, in the unity, in the dream. But ultimately, he only protected the one he loved." She paused, her words slicing through the air with deliberate force. "He stepped back and expected me to fix the chaos, but I'm no longer his safety net." Meanwhile, in the car, Robyn chewed at the skin around her thumb, her eyes vacant as they stared out the window. Cody gripped the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned ghostly white. "She hates me," Robyn murmured. Cody said nothing. There was no money, no unity, no sister wives to turn to, only the cold light of the truth and the costly price thereof. At home in her own kitchen, still shaken by the confrontation, Janelle made herself a cup of tea, attempting to calm her hands. The doorbell rang suddenly. On the mat was a cream-colored envelope, graceful script writing out her name. She glanced about, but no one was in view. Her breath hitched as she turned it over and saw who the letter was from: Christine. Janelle sat down, gently opening the letter as if it was a sacred artifact. "Janelle, I heard Cody approached you once again, begging for help, with Robyn in tow, hoping you'd come and save them like you always do. I'm not surprised, but my heart hurts for what you went through. You're always the strong, practical one. Even when he made you feel invisible, you were the one holding it all together. I want you to know I saw you. I always did. And now everyone sees it too. I've moved on. But I haven't forgotten. Not the hurt. Not the way he let Robyn redefine the rules for all of us, before she became his exit strategy. We were a family once. Don't let guilt drag you back into their flames. You deserve peace, Janelle. You deserve freedom. You've earned the right to say no. I'm always here if you need me. Christine." As Janelle read, her eyes overflowed with tears. Not with sorrow, but with a simple, exhilarating sense of being understood at last. Far away, Cody had also arrived on Christine's doorstep in Utah. He had originally intended to go see her before Robyn dissuaded him, but he went anyway. Christine stood in her bright, sun-filled kitchen doorway, firm. She didn't even allow him inside. "Cody," she said calmly, "everything is shattered. You shattered it. You picked your own road." Cody's eyes begged. "But you have peace here. You're supported. Perhaps you could assist us. Only until the show improves again." Christine laughed soundlessly. "You think TLC will come to your rescue? They realize now. So does the audience." Her warmth turned to steel as she moved forward. "I rebuilt my life brick by brick. Just because yours is crumbling doesn't mean you get to invade mine." And with that, she closed the door firmly behind him. Returning to Flagstaff, Cody strolled through the deserted living room where he had promised Robyn they would create a forever home. All but a few of the furnishings had been sold quietly. Bill stacks covered the countertops. A foreclosure notice on the dining table was spread open, a harsh reminder of everything falling apart. Robyn sat bound by a blanket on the couch, her eyes closed tight. "They don't answer my calls anymore, Janelle, Christine. Even Mary quit after her book was published," she whispered, voice shaking. Cody answered back, voice low, bitter. "I thought this was our fate. They betrayed me. You were going to help me keep the family together." Robyn gradually stood up, her hands shaking uncontrollably. "You made me think this," she wailed. "But I didn't make you abandon them. That was you, Cody. You walked away." A thick silence engulfed the room, booming louder than any cry. Then, at last, Cody breathed. Maybe I deserve this." 7 days later, Janelle filled up her car and drove to Utah. There, at the end of a lonely drive, Christine waited for her. The moment Janelle emerged from the car, the two women collapsed into a long, angry hug, the kind that told of shared anguish and hard-won freedom. They stood there, holding each other, breathing together, letting go of the past for a moment. Inside, the camera caught them seated at a cozy kitchen table, mugs of tea in front of them, laughter dancing around them like sunlight. "Do you feel lighter?" Christine asked with a sympathetic smile. "Lighter than I have in years," Janelle said, her expression relaxing. "Then don't look back," Christine encouraged. Meanwhile, far away in a sleek Los Angeles office, two TLC executives and a producer huddled around a table strewn with fan petitions, Cody's breakdown clips, and waves of online criticism. Executive 1 shook his head. "Cody can't be salvaged. The story has changed. The viewers have chosen their heroes." Executive 2 chimed in. "Christine's spinoff is performing incredibly well, and the test audiences are loving Janelle's footage. Mary's memoir? It's already viral before hitting shelves." The producer leaned forward. "So, what about Cody and Robyn?" Executive 1 replied firmly. "Dial them down. The wives are the true center now." Elsewhere, beneath bright Nashville studio lights, a galley copy of Mary Brown's memoir rested on a coffee table. The title glimmered, "Left Behind, My Truth Beyond Sister Wives." A sticky note highlighted a critical passage. "At one point," Mary wrote, "Cody told me Robyn was the obedient wife, that she followed orders. I never forgot those words, they explained everything." A talk show producer turned the page, eyes widening. "She's not holding back," they grumbled. In the background, Janelle's voiceover came over soothing footage of her strolling in a sunlit park with Christine and the grandchildren. "I waited years for him to finally see me," Janelle's voiceover stated. "But maybe it was never about him seeing me. Maybe it was about me finally seeing myself." And there was more, so much more. Christine Brown, following almost 3 decades of spiritual marriage to Cody, suffered through years of emotional abandonment. She very much felt like a visitor among 4 wives, particularly after Cody wedded Robyn and the numbers never went back. As the years passed, Christine yearned for connection and warmth, but Cody's love was work, something to cross off a list, not treasure. Robyn's birth only served to further isolate her, compelling Christine to see the painful truth that Cody was never capable of filling her emotional needs. Ultimately, she made the most difficult decision: to leave and recreate her life on her own terms. Now, Christine is happy once more, wed to David Woolley, a man who is able to really see her. On the Sister Wives Season 19 tell-all, Christine talked freely with host Suki Krishnan. She explained how her physical relationship with Cody evolved from sufficient to hollow, ultimately becoming, as she said, a hollow act. Robyn's arrival opened up the cracks. Christine realized Cody's heart wasn't here, and that brought her to her breaking point. "We used each other," Christine acknowledged, her voice even though the heaviness of her words. Following her departure from Cody, Christine started online dating in January 2023. By Valentine's Day, she was introducing David, an 8-child widower, with pride. Their romance moved at warp speed, engaged in April 2023 and married in October in a TLC wedding special. Moments cut for the Season 19 tell-all captured Christine and David's happy affection hugs, kisses, loving glances. "You were starved for attention," David playfully teased after seeing the clips. Christine at last discovered the love she had so long sought: warmth, laughter, partnership that was her due. Her kids generally welcomed David, but a few were guarded against their very public show of affection. But for Christine, the message was unmistakable. She had waited too long to be properly seen and loved, and she wasn't going to let her guard down now. On Sister Wives Season 19, David Woolley officially appeared on television, and he did not hold back from showering Christine with affection. Indeed, he frequently kissed her in public, taking place in moments of real love that had been absent on the show for years. The tell-all special was nothing short of priceless in capturing the kids' reactions to their mom's new openness. Their reactions spanned giggles to cringe-worthy embarrassment, even some blushing. But amidst it all, Christine and David were unapologetically demonstrative. Isabel Brown, 22, summed it up best. "My mom always wanted more physical affection from Dad. Now, she finally gets to show that love openly and as much as she wants." For Christine, having a committed partner was everything. And though it will take time for all her children to completely settle in, they stand behind her completely because they see just how happy she is now. It's a tender, unfiltered moment that resonates deeply. Meanwhile, in the same tell-all, host Suki Krishnan played the same highlight reel of Christine and David's public displays of affection for Cody and asked him what he thought. To everyone's surprise, Cody's response wasn't bitter. "I'm happy for Christine," he admitted, almost wistful. "This is what she always wanted. Maybe love is meant to be multiplied," he added, echoing one of his own past beliefs. "Honestly, I'm kind of impressed she managed to manifest it." But then, Cody turned introspective. "You can't have that all-encompassing, can't live without each other love if you're going to make plural marriage work," he admitted. "Polygamy falls apart when there's real deep love involved." During the last show, aired the 18th of June, Cody, 56, made a candid confession. "Plural marriage won't work if you end up falling in love," he said. He continued to think about his relationship with Robyn, the lady he encountered and eventually spiritually wed 2 years following his unions with Mary, Janelle, and Christine. With Robyn, he experienced something totally different, something that he termed falling in love hard, despite yet being married to the others. Sitting with his diary, he remembered his inner turmoil. "God, what's happening? I've already got 3 wives, and now I've fallen in love again." By late 2021, Robyn was the only remaining wife. Christine, Janelle, and eventually Mary had all left. After the splits, Robyn mourned the shattered dream of a big, united plural family. Cody lashed out, and all 3 ex-wives dug deep to trace the roots of their pain problems that had been festering for decades. Christine accused Mary of greed. Janelle called Cody selfish, even calling him a narcissist. Although she explained she wasn't professional enough to diagnose him. "I guess everyone will have to decide for themselves," she said. Mary revealed how she felt completely left behind by the man whom she had loved since age 19. Cody confessed to getting defensive as tensions escalated, though he insisted over and over again he never really loved his previous wives. "I wouldn't have begun being cruel," he asserted. "But after that, I struck back. It became a counterattack." Their psychological warfare was staged like a heavyweight bout jab, hook, hook. Mary broke the news that soon after their 1,990 wedding ceremony, Cody was already set to give up, but he continued to keep her in suspense. She explained how, prior to their relocation to Flagstaff in 2018, he had said to her, "Oh, Mary, this move will be a new beginning for us." She had trusted him. Her greatest complaint? His unwillingness to be truthful with his feelings, what he desired, what he didn't, and the tale he told for years. "I kept wondering, why am I even doing this?" Mary revealed. Cody, for his part, conceded there could have been mixed signals, but insisted he was working on it. "I wouldn't court or date her today," he said matter-of-factly. When Mary finally decided to leave in early 2023, her friends celebrated. They said, "We've got you. We're here for you," Mary shared. With her eyes wide open, she realized that Cody had been trying to push her out for years. By insisting, he didn't love her. If I go on my own, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away, she said. It's about damn time, she asserted definitively. During the season premiere, Cody confessed he had been willing to give up on the dream years ago, way before they purchased that spacious 14-acre land in Flagstaff that was supposed to bring them together. When the family purchased their sprawling $820,000 plot of land in Flagstaff in 2023, Cody found himself staring at a financial and emotional wall. Unable to move forward without paying the entire cost up front, he turned to Robyn and sighed. I'd almost rather scrap it, sell it all, and start fresh somewhere else. Robyn, visibly shaken, refused to even entertain the thought. I can't talk about that, she replied, her voice tight. That is so not where I'm at. Janelle, meanwhile, had already made her decision. She once shared that she and Cody simply started to grow apart, but the true catalyst was his failure as a father to several of their children. The big spark for me, Janelle admitted, was when his relationship collapsed with my kids. He didn't look like he was prepared to move heaven and earth to repair it. And I thought that was the last thread keeping me there. Even when Cody broached the subject of reconciliation during the 3rd of November episode, Janelle refused to budge. I will always pick my kids, she insisted. I could not imagine ever reuniting with him when he doesn't have a relationship with them. Cody, on the other hand, rationalized his absence by saying he no longer belonged in the family. I don't feel like I belong anymore, he complained during the 15th of September episode. At home with Robyn, he was only surrounded by the 5 children they had in common: Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon, and Ariella. The rest of his kids were thin on relationships, strained, or cut off entirely. What am I going to do with all this? He complained, overwhelmed. It doesn't even feel like a family. In the season 19 premiere, Robyn echoed the chaos. We're possibly at our worst place ever, she confessed. It's been difficult between us, despite being monogamous now for the first time in our 14-year marriage. Cody doesn't know who to blame, himself or the other wives. She shared her ceaseless apprehension. I'm always on my toes, Robyn explained. I have to keep ensuring he isn't ruining what we still share. Cody's self-doubt cut deep. I can't even hug myself in the mirror and say, hey dude, I love you, he confessed, laying bare the naked crisis of confidence eating away at him. Seeing the other women get on with their lives only magnified Robyn's agony. They're all advancing, she despaired on the 27th of October episode. I feel like the doormat who was left behind. One of the saddest cracks was with Janelle's oldest daughter, Madison. I know Maddie hasn't talked to her dad, Janelle said. He hasn't called her, she hasn't called him. She doesn't have any sort of relationship with Robyn either. She's basically written them both off. Madison's guardiness when it came to her own children, Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine, was a big part. Maddie doesn't want him around unless he can appear on a regular basis and not cause drama, Janelle replied. Since he hasn't been calling or showing up, she thinks it's better if they don't even know he exists. Robyn said she was encouraging Cody to get back together with his children. I think the kids should be trying too, she added. But Cody would not budge. Each time I spoke to Maddie, it was like she was looking for rumors, he griped. I got tired of it. Even though his own dictum was that love should be multiplied, not reduced, Cody ultimately confessed his cruel remarks about never having loved his former wives were reactive. It was more of a knee-jerk reaction. He confessed during the 15th of June one-on-one special. For the past 3 years, I've been deep in this reactionary vitriol. That bitterness spilled over during an anniversary celebration with Mary, when he told her point-blank that he had never truly loved her. In a September 2024 episode, Mary opened up to a friend about the crushing revelation. I still thought he loved me, she cried. She marveled rhetorically in a peroration. Why marry me in the first place if he didn't love me? Why pick me? Only to try out of obligation for 32 years. How cold is that? Cody, however, dismissed her words as little accusations. But even he admitted the validity of their acrimonious start. This marriage was doomed from the beginning. He confessed on the 20th of October broadcast. I know that because my relationships with Janelle, Christine, and Robyn were so much healthier. If leadership knew I was getting rid of wives, they'd never allow me to marry again, he said, implying the complicated relationships of polygamy. But ultimately, Cody remained not because he loved it, but because he was afraid. Janelle disclosed that her original intention had been to settle the Arizona land so that they could once and for all determine its fate. But even then, she did not know if she wanted to construct on Coyote Pass or simply sell it off and move on. I think I'm going to have to lawyer up, she confessed to Christine during the 22nd of September episode. Cody refuses to discuss it with me, and honestly, that might be the only way to force a decision. Without a legal marriage tying them together, Janelle admitted she had no official claim to Cody's assets. It's not like I can call a lawyer and go, I need to divorce this guy, she said. There is no legal marriage, it's complicated, messy, and I feel like I'm in limbo. Cody, meanwhile, said he no longer trusted Janelle, and that's why he didn't tell her about the Arizona property. We'll pay it off when it's time, he insisted during a confessional in the same episode. And I'm not giving her details anymore. I'm done sharing things that just get twisted and spread through the family gossip mill. Janelle couldn't help but call out the hypocrisy. He leaks like a sieve, she retorted. He used to talk to me about his other relationships, about his other wives, that I knew he had no right to tell me. Years passed. When the family was together, they shared all their funds collectively. When one wanted aid, they all contributed. That was the law. That's how it worked for years, Janelle said in the 22nd of September episode. We'd rally around each other, support each other. But over the last decade, that all fell apart. Suddenly, it became about protecting individual estates rather than the family as a whole. A glaring example? Robyn's $1.65 million 5-bedroom Arizona home. When she needed a house, the whole family chipped in to purchase it. But when cracks began to appear, the same house was put on the market this August. Robyn said the house was always intended to be for the benefit of the family. But when Janelle proposed that all of them sign on the mortgage, the proposition was instantly rejected. Cody was like, No, we have to protect Robyn's estate, Janelle remembered, her tone dripping with sarcasm. What do you think about this complicated drama of love, loyalty, and infidelity? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for more news and deep dives like this.